Can you believe this is what a RuneScape boss in the early days looked like? Nothing what we got compared to now. Well, hello everybody, this is another diary update. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm post-recording a lot of this script because I did Desert Treasure 2, which is widely considered the hardest and also longest quest in Old School Runescape. And now I am officially done and have the quest cape. Spoiler alert, I guess. For about a week because the new Vampirium area is going to be dropping. But I figured I'd kind of talk about this quest. It's a long quest, very many bosses and different things you gotta do in this, so I recorded bits and pieces, and I'll tell you all about it. But I guess, why is this quest so infamous in that way? Well, I guess I can give you a brief little story if you're new to the RuneScape lore. Maybe you haven't gotten to that yet, but it is more or less tackling, as the main focal point is, tackling 4 major bosses that will be repeatable after the quest, and they are high-ranking generals of this ancient empire of the Zerosian Empire, which was a god long time ago, before the reigning 3 are kind of now over, of Saradomin, Zamorak, and Guthix. Kind of think law, chaos, and neutral, I guess, if you're not familiar with RuneScape at all. It's so long so that Zamorak is actually a served under Zaros and then betrayed him. Hence, starting his more or less his own religion to a degree, or his own little force. But yeah, we're taking on 4 major people in this, and none of them are a pushover, I gotta be honest. We have the head executioner and also vampire known as Carnifex Maximus Vardorvis, which probably one of the hardest names in the entire game. I already thought Vanstorm Klaus from the Sins of the Father quest was already tough, but I guess vampires just get really cool names. So we have to find him. Have to find one of the other people named Perseria, who is the admiral of the Zerosian fleet. Oh my god, I can't say his name. Hold on, I got the pronunciation up here. Duke Sucellus. There we go. Duke Sucellus. He is a demon who also served under as one of the major players in the Zerosian Empire. And lastly is the Whisperer, who is a siren and also an assassin that worked for the Zerosian Empire. So these 4 all hold a medallion that we need to access this ancient treasure, hence Desert Treasure 2, and we have to go find them. However, this is presumably thousands and thousands of years ago. It's been a long time. Most likely they're not going to be alive, so finding their medallions is also going to be rough. But, you know, I guess that's where we got to start, right? Following the quest guide, I ended up doing Vardorvis first, as that just kind of, I went in the list of order, but he was one of the more interesting ones I was curious about fighting. His design looks really cool, and I'm really curious about the area he goes into, but he is on the other side of the world as he was beefing with some of the dwarves of the Great Korand, a whole different kingdom, and this all presumably happened before that kingdom was created, like this is a very long time ago, but he's a vampire. Unfortunately, he's already been dead. He beefed with them, he died because he had a strangler parasite inside of him. It's this parasite that basically turns everybody it touches into zombies, including animals. Doesn't really matter what you are. So this whole area has been like sealed off, and it's really cool. I love the vibe of this place. It's eerie as hell. Sealed off, called the Stranglewood currently, and everything's just walking around an undead zombie. It's cool, but when we get to Vardorvis after doing a lot of stealthy kind of sections, and I gotta be honest, this part was kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Vardorvis himself is really cool. I mean, he's quite literally a beheaded vampire and now reanimated by a bunch of red entangly vines, and he is going to have the power of this very strong parasite and also the power of a vampire. So Vardorvis himself is pretty hectic, a lot of things going on, and it only gets worse from start of the quest, but he actually wasn't super bad. My first attempt, I was definitely just trying to get a feel for his attacks. I definitely didn't go in thinking I was going to beat him first try, but he's got a lot of different attacks, and I had to get better with the prayer switching. I did some reorganizing after this first attempt, as once again, spoilers, I didn't beat him on my first attempt. I had to mix some stuff around because you got to be pretty quick at switching to a protect from melee when this little thing comes out and attacks, so a protect from range as opposed to a protect from melee. And of course, he also has bleeding. There's just a lot of stuff to go on and do, but honestly, was doing not too bad. I ran out of food, and then I ended up dying, unfortunately. I didn't think to telly out or anything like that, but I got him down to like a quarter health, which is pretty cool, I'd say, for my first attempt. Attempt number 2, I just was once again not really doing the greatest here. I wasn't really good at dodging that axe attack, especially when he adds 3 axes near the, I want to say like the second half of his fight. Nothing really crazy. I was able to at least telly out. Just honestly wasn't really proud of that attempt. Did a lot better on my first attempt, if I'm being honest. Attempt number 3, I don't really think much changed. I was getting better at like kind of just learning the attack pattern and switching, so I definitely went back down to kind of his health at the beginning, but I panicked way too much when I got to his more enraged kind of end game phase, which most bosses do when they're kind of low health. They get that super enragey kind of phase, and yeah, that one was kind of rough. So ended up not doing it here, but my 4th one, well, that was my successful attempt here. I was locked in, and honestly, kind of cool to see this, that I had him down to about a quarter or less than a quarter of health, and I just started using the food I finally had. So that was really good. That was already kind of just gave me a lot of confidence, as I had wiggle room for mistakes here. I had my friend help being me, so here's a little clip, I guess, of me beating him. Go watch it yourself.
Left.
Oh, oh no, that's right. Okay, fuck. Fine, that's fine.
You're good. You're good. Move center.
Center.
Just eat. Yep. You're good.
Oh God.
You're good.
Come on, attack, brother. What are you doing?
Right.
Okay. Oh, dude. Oh wait, no, I want help.
You're good.
I thought I took a fuck ton of damage.
No. Center. Center now.
Fine.
Yep.
Fine, probably. Come on, die.
There
Fuck you. Holy shit. And cool. Yeah, I thought that last attack did a lot. One of his last attacks did a lot of damage to me, and I started panicking because I saw like a 20 splat or something too, and I'm like, oh no. Once again, I had like nothing done to me, but honestly, I want to say very proud of that fight for me overall. I was doing really well. Thank you, Chris, for help me, being an extra eye for me, as he was definitely watching me and trying to help call out, as you might have heard on that recording too. But no, it was cool. I like this fight overall. It's definitely one of the coolest ones in the game, just from a lore perspective, design-wise. Fight's gonna be a little rough to get used to, but I'm kind of excited. I want to go fight this guy again for sure. Alright, next up is once again the Admiral fleet for Perseria, but I'm gonna say, spoiler alert, this person is also long dead. I guess fortunately for us, they're not a vampire, but honestly, a pretty terrible thing happened to them. Long story short, they went into this place called the Abyss, which is pretty known in the RuneScape lore, but it's in this very dangerous portion called the Scar, and it just looks like I'm in a bunch of like brain matter, tissue-y kind of stuff. It's kind of gross looking. Solved a bunch of puzzles to get here, and honestly, compared to the running and hiding from the zombies in the Stranglewood, this was actually pretty chill. I didn't mind this overall. It was kind of fun getting to it. But then the Leviathan. This is a giant beast that presumably ate everybody in the entirety of the fleet when they got stranded here, as there's really no humans left alive. Go figure. This giant beast is pretty rough. Got a volley of these attacks that you kind of have to prayer flick to change the right protection prayer to not take damage. It gets really fast and really hectic in the back of it all, and ooh, this was a toughie. I gotta say, I think, at least for me, a lot tougher than Vardorvis was. I'm not really great at prayer switching, and this is a lot more demanding, I guess you could say. It starts off pretty good though. It starts really giving you the moves around it. You have to watch out for these boulders that drop, and it progressively gets faster, and then you use a shadow spell to stun it, and it kind of resets it because it will like basically be way too fast unless you want to be tick perfect, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm nowhere near that. So once again, first attempt, I don't think it was actually too bad. I just was once again trying to get a feel for everything here a bit. One thing I did do is when I watched guides for this, clearly I wasn't going to go in blind, or else I would have taken dozens of more attempts probably. I'm going to be honest with you, this lightning attack that it does, I wasn't prepared for that. I was prepared to run its boulder phase. It's got two kind of intermittent attacks that it does, and this lightning shot, and this boulder fall with a shockwave. I was ready for the boulder one, was not prepared for the lightning, so I wasn't really sure how to dodge it. Was able to tele out with like very few HP left, so it was all safe. But man, that caught me off guard. The second attempt honestly didn't really change a whole lot. I got lightning again, even though I thought I knew how to run it. When I was told to outrun it, I was being dumb and trying to go outer ring instead of the inner ring, which would, you know, be shorter. So I died like a dingus. That wasn't great. Not really happy about that, but what can you do? Third attempt, honestly, what's up with the third attempt just being not good? I played poorly on the third attempt. I was not doing good. I must have just got off rhythm with the prayer switching, and it completely screwed up my rhythm. So I ended up just taking it, because by the time I would have healed up to full, I would have like lost half my inventory of food. I was still pretty early on in the fight. I kind of just said, screw it, and went back. For attempt number 4, it was my first time seeing his final phase, which was one that I was kind of worried about on the video, as it looks really hectic. Boulders are flying, things are just shooting out everywhere, and then you gotta stay in this little protective little bubble that's kind of like a 3x3 block, while also shooting and still dodging some of or protecting against some of those attacks. Honestly, was surprised at how I guess I managed it. I don't want to say it was easy, but I think I was just locked in, or adrenaline was hitting or something, but I did very good. In fact, the first time I saw this final phase, it was the first time I was successful. But very good. It was very tough, man. This one's also gonna be a tricky one to learn, and I could see myself slipping up, because you're not on your A game. Ooh, you're done.
Oh shit.
Let's fucking go. Holy shit. Next up, spoiler alert, is by far the easiest one in my opinion here, is Duke Sucellus. This blob of meth is a giant demon that kind of took the reins of one of the heads after Zamorak defected in this whole lore equivalent thing. He sealed himself in this prison called Gorok Prison up in the icy north. It's weird, it's underneath basically another area that we were for an earlier quest, and honestly all these areas are just like a deeper portion of every little section. Like the Scar was a deeper portion of the Abyss that you're in, but that's beside the point. This part was a little weird. You're kind of playing like basically a little maze, running around trying to find your gear first up, and then getting all these keys. The puzzle was fine, I guess, overall. Not really super crazy on this one, but the Duke's fight himself was odd, that's for sure. This fight, once again, I'd say it's by far the easiest. It's basically playing this game of dodging the beams that I'm assuming would do a lot of damage. I didn't get hit by them because I didn't want to know what happens when you get hit by them, but you have to create these potions to first of all wake up the boss in first place, and then you go to town on him. The biggest thing is this like eye attack that he does, that you have to hide behind a pillar so you don't, well, die, because I think it's almost more or less a one-hit kill, or a damn near close one. And it's just kind of back and forth. This fight's, I don't know. Honestly, probably my least favorite in terms of just mechanics. Design-wise, he's kind of cool. I like how gross he is. But he was also pretty easy, all things considered, as he was the only boss I beat on my first attempt. So there's not a whole lot with this. It's just kind of like back and forth, trying to dodge a little shockwave slam, and then these stinky vents that poop out poisonous gas at you. It is alright. Once again, nothing too crazy. I don't even think I had a reaction when I beat him. I was just like, he's done. Cool. Yeah, I just look back at the footage. Don't even have a reaction to him. Not gonna say he's a bad boss or anything like that, but definitely a little underwhelming. But I guess I will take a one-try victory in this case, because I'm sure the next one, as many know, is going to be rough. And to nobody's surprise, I'm sure a lot of people probably feel this way, the one that was the hardest boss for me was the Whisperer, this assassin siren chick who is, I guess, insane. She went insane in this underground city that's the underground. Once again, it's another layer on top of a layer thing. There's an ice mountain. Under the ice mountain is this old dwarven city called Camdozel, and then underneath the Camdozel city is this old ruined city of Lasars. It's like some weird dystopian kind of Lovecraftian Atlantis. feeling kind of thing here. I don't know. This Whisper is a really cool design, though. The whole area was pretty cool. I like the Shadow Realm kind of mechanics. That was kind of neat. I overall liked it. It was very spooky too, similar vibes to like the Stranglewood. And yeah, she was kind of taunting me this entire time, so it was good to go fight this fight. But yeah, I don't know why magic fights I'm never really the strongest at, but I guess I don't have the best magic stuff, I feel like. I don't know. The other part that's the problem with this fight is sanity. You have a sanity meter in this because I guess they think they made themselves insane is what I believe the lore is. But if you lose this, or if this insanity, oh my god, if the sanity meter goes to 0, you are donezo. It's another insta-kill regardless of how much health you have. So it's another thing to add on, and most of her attacks do build or deplete your sanity. So you got to be careful for that. And it makes an extra layer on this fight that much harder. This one is a lot of stuff going on. You have to dodge attacks pretty frequently. And the first attempt, I don't think was the greatest, but it also wasn't terrible. I misread that thing because the 3 phases, it goes, she shoots either magic, 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 or range, range, range. And then for phase 2, it's magic, magic, range, or range, range, magic. I completely missed that, and I was wondering why I was taking damage like an idiot. So I took too much damage and had to telly out because I wasn't paying attention. So then I went back, watched the video, and we're back. And then the third phase is magic, range, magic, or range, magic, range. Or range, magic, range. Yeah, no, that was right. I said it right. It's a lot of switching. You gotta do these purse switches really freaking fast, and then you gotta dodge the tentacle smash, or else you're gonna lose sanity. And then there's the intermediate attacks, which honestly, I actually didn't mind the intermediate attacks, like the pillar dodging. Thought that was pretty alright, and I liked having a little mix-up from the on edge you gotta have to be. You have to be locked in. Fight number 2, though, I did not too terrible. I got her down, actually, to her second phase, or the final phase is as you deplete her health to nothing. It's like the super phase where she kind of just goes berserk, starts whipping tentacles all at you. You have to constantly be moving, and this is when your sanity is going to be dropping the most. I was running out of health, running out of food, running out of sanity, so I had to telly out, and no, it was all right. But it was first time seeing that. It was definitely a big slap, as I was not prepared, even still. Attempt number 3, I don't really think anything too crazy happened until her third phase, I would say, when she's doing the every other swapping, so the magic, range, magic, or the inverse. I completely, once again, screwed up the timing, kind of like Leviathan, and I just had a bad run. It's the third fight. I don't know what happens. My third attempt at these bosses just seems to be the worst. But I ended up getting out of here. It just sucked. I was using too much resources. I just said, fuck it, you know. Attempt number 4, unfortunately, this was not my winning attempt. Yeah, it was. This one was definitely the most attempts I had going on here. I couldn't break down that like third phase where it's alternating. It's a lot going on. It was hard. I was not getting the hang of it. I think it took one more attempt to fully get a hang of that phase. And actually, kind of funny enough on this attempt, the only thing I like to note is I actually died from the sanity, in fact, here. So you can actually watch it happen here. So I guess that's me actually dying, but I think that's the only time I died to the Whisperer, technically. It was actually losing my sanity, so I'll take that, I guess. Attempt number 5. At this point, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm frustrated. It's like midnight at this point. I am just ready to go eat or do something. And yeah, it was not a great one. I just, once again, wasn't doing great. I think I was using too many resources and tellied out before the final phase again. Yeah, that's how number 6 started. I had to take a mini little break, got a drink, put some fries in the air fryer, as I most likely said, and was going to eat some food. So I had one attempt in me before I was going to eat. Luckily, though, I was locked in this attempt. As you see, I was doing pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie. On her phase kind of 3, where's the alternating attacks, I definitely started screwing up, but I honestly gotta commend myself here. While I did screw up, I didn't telly out, I had supplies, and I was actually surprisingly able to pull myself back from the reins a bit here. I thought I was gonna just lose the rhythm as I kind of panic and just get out of sync with everything that's going on in this fight, but I actually did good. I got back up to more or less full health and enacted phase number 2. I was counting out, or I guess the final phase, which was phase 4 as I'm calling it in my own mind. And this final enraged phase, well, I was calling out all the protection prayers, and well, this is what happened. Magic. Magic, I'm gonna be annoying, sorry. Range.
Yes, magic.
Mage. Magic.
Got this.
Range. Range. Magic. Magic. Range. Range. Magic. Magic. Range. Come on. Come on! Range! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Oh, yes!
So proud.
Fuck that fight! Holy fucking shit! I'm gonna go eat now. God fucking damn it! Holy. And here's the ending of the quest. Honestly, this final fight was annoying. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of glad I didn't record it. It took me a few attempts just because I was having some bad luck in trying to learn some of these things here with just fighting these like aberration kind of things. It was whatever, honestly. After the Whisper, though, I was kind of just like running out high still, where I'm like, I need to get this quest done. I'm so freaking close, man. Yeah, I mean, story-wise, it's wrapping up. It kind of ends in a whole almost kind of a cliffhanger. The Slisky guy who was playing us for fool the entire time to get this legendary artifact that more or less we helped them get. I feel like they're leading up to maybe I don't know if it's a Desert Treasure 3 or just another great quest where he's going to be another great evil, because even his own kind, these Majorats, which is one of these skeleton people you're seeing, this ancient race that also served under Zeros. We kind of met with them throughout the many quests in the game, but kind of coming to a big whole tipping point here. So I'm kind of curious. I know we're at the end of the quest currently, and we're not following up with the vampire quest now, but I'm very curious, at least from a story-wise, as maybe I don't read the story fully on my first run-through. I still very like it, and I really like the overarching plot lines we got going on here. So this is very cool. Ends kind of just on a weird cliff note, all things considered, but I take that 300,000 and put it into some magic. Yeah, no, that was it, and I'm gonna cut to where I get the quest cape here, because I am excited. I get to use it, and I think it just becomes unusable, I want to say, until I beat the last quest again. But I get to go to our good friend, the wise old man, and get my quest cape. It's very fitting that we go to him. I kind of just thought him to be a random ass dude, but honestly, he was kind of the goat in some of those quests, and you know, he had his own moments to shine. So kind of like him as a recurring NPC, and once again, we get the quest cape from him too. So I think I'm going to show off my emote here in just a second here, but it's a cool one, and at least I have it. I might not be able to equip it and utilize it, I think, for a bit after this, because I'm sure I'll struggle on this quest too. It's another Grandmaster, if I'm not mistaken, which are the longest quests in RuneScape. So that will be something, but I'm excited nonetheless, and I'm just glad this quest is over. It was a nightmare leading up to it, but I'm glad I got through it. These were, yeah, once again, some of the hardest bosses I had to fight in RuneScape so far. I know there is harder, and I'm only gonna have to get better, but it was a tough one. Excited to see where I go from here. It's kind of weird being done with all the quests for now. I say that, like I said, with only about a week left, but yeah, we'll see. Anyways, this is kind of just a really weird, different kind of style video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My overall just walking you through my Desert Treasure 2 life here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. I don't know what's gonna happen, but again, I'm kind of open for suggestion on what kind of content I want to do for this little diaries thing. But if I get a 99, you sure bet I'll show you that. So I'll probably see you for one of those then.